Networking is one of the things that everyone I know, clients, friends, colleagues, it's universally hated. Why why do I want to put myself out there? Oh yes, because I need a job. But this sucks. I don't want to network. I'm Anne Marie Segal. I've been an executive coach and resume writer for 10 years. Before that, I was an attorney for 15 years. This is a series called Making Your Comeback. Comeback's usually coming back after a personal failure or some other type of failure. Um, I'm thinking really in terms of this series about the thousands of federal employees and others who've lost their jobs in spring 2025. Although this can be obviously applicable to a larger audience, the concept of career networking. I don't consider it a personal failure on any of your behalf. Um, yes, maybe you did something that contributed to your not having a job. Maybe you did. It doesn't matter. It's not it's not a failure. It's just something that happened and you move on. And in the many, many, many cases, it had nothing to do with you. It was out of your control. Nonetheless, we hold on to this. Um, we hold on to this sense of, oh my God, I feel very vulnerable right now. Everyone's going to want to know my story. And I don't want to network. I don't want to put myself in a position where I can be rejected again. And yet, networking is shown to be one of the most effective ways of getting a new job, especially if you're at a point in your life where ageism is a concern. Networking, what does that even mean? So, what it means is you have a network right now. In fact, you have multiple networks. You know people from different aspects of your life. So, all the people that you know that were recently fired along with you, if in fact you have that group of folks, they're actually part of your network. Um, as different ones of them land different roles, maybe they can bring you along. I wouldn't over rely on that. Um, but they are certainly part of your network. People you know who are in roles who can hire you. So if you were in federal government, people in state government that you might have gotten to know, people who were even adversaries to you, if you had a collegial relationship, could be part of your network. Um, any religious or other types of activities that you're involved in, if you have children and they have activities that you've been involved in, or you've met parents, um, if you have special interests of any kind, all of those folks are in your network. They may or may not be the best professional contacts for you. Sometimes they are. Sometimes it's daunting, but you've got to think about what you're asking of them. You're not going to expect someone you barely know to find you a job, but you might be able to go out and tell them your story and see if they have any information for you or introductions or, frankly, just moral support. They might also be able to help you in terms of the information aspect, craft your job search campaign in a way that it's going to be more effective. So you can rely on your network for a lot of different things. Networking isn't just transactional, like, I want something from you. Can you give it to me? No? Okay, I'll move on to the next one. That's actually not the most effective way to network. If you haven't been thinking about networking for years and years and years, because it frankly just wasn't a priority for you, it wasn't something useful for you, especially if you've been in the same job for a really long time, it may behoove you to first take a step back and say, who's in my network? Some people make spreadsheets, some people make lists, some people, if they have a LinkedIn profile, will go on and say, who can I enumerate here as like the top 20 or 50 people that could really be helpful for me and what I'm looking for next. If you don't have LinkedIn, maybe another type of social media, maybe your phone book. Um, maybe just thinking through your day, who are the people that I meet, or looking in your calendar, who have I met with recently, or over the years, who's important to me, who's motivated to help me find my next role, and who is actually in a position to help me. Those are all the things to be thinking about. And then putting yourself out there. I talked about not wanting to be rejected. It's hard. I'm not going to tell you that it's not, but it's one of the things that's worthwhile doing. Sometimes we do things that are hard, and there's a reason we do them. And when we come out on the other side, we say, I'm so glad I did that. That was hard, but it was worth the effort. And I can tell you that networking is one of those things that if you put in the effort and you avoid negativity and all the things I talk about in the other videos in this series, you have your story, you know, down, and you understand what you want to communicate to your target audience. And I would get all of that in place before I rush out and do a lot of networking. Networking will be incredibly helpful and productive for you. Even if it's just, I applied to a job and I know you're at that company. Can you walk my resume over to the hiring manager? Sometimes that's all it takes. You don't know, in fact, when you are networking, what will actually be the thing that pays off. You just need to keep paying in and hopefully paying it forward for others who are in the same situation. That's networking. I encourage you to learn more about it. If this overview has not been enough, if you're still feeling uncertain about networking, but I do encourage you to really think about how networking could help your career because it's key.